Welcome to Beyond the Hustle, where we do business differently. Less grind, more strategy, and a low-lift revenue model that makes high cash months feel light as a feather. I'm Tristan Jean, your business mentor and social sales expert, and I have built a spacious, scalable business that locks in recurring revenue so I don't reset to zero at every month, without launching every 2 weeks, running on empty, or launching a low-ticket mass membership that saps the life out of me. Now I'm here to help you do the same. Here we don't just talk about making money. We talk about building a business that never resets at zero, where a few strategic offers sell out every time and sales flow 24/7 without you constantly showing up. If you're ready to get off the income roller coaster and finally create a business that pays you and gives you your life back, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe, grab your coffee and your comfy couch blanket because you know I have mine, and let's chat, my friend. Okay, welcome to this episode. I'm really excited about this one. This is answering your biggest questions about scaling to high cash months without the hustle. So I asked my community to send in some of their biggest questions about scaling their businesses to predictable high cash months without burning out. And today I am answering the most common questions. So if you've ever wondered how to stop starting every month at zero, how to sell without constantly launching, or how to create a business that fits your life instead of taking over your life, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. Okay, question number 1. How do I stop relying on launches and create consistent revenue? So this is one of the biggest struggles I see. And if you've been around, you know that this was a aha moment for me in my business, that I did not just want to make money. I didn't just want to make a 10K month. I wanted to create stability and predictability in my business. So a lot of what I see happening in businesses is women getting stuck in the launch and burn cycle, where they make a big cash injection 1 month from a launch and then panic because the next they have no recurring revenue. So most people think that their only options are keep launching every few weeks or create a low ticket membership model that requires hundreds of people to get me to where I want to be. But you need a business model that pays you before the month even starts, that you can look down the road 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and see how much you're going to be making and then add to that. So to stop relying on constant launches and create consistent revenue, the first thing you have to do is reframe that fear of inconsistent months, identify it, and identify it as the reason that you want to keep launching. Once you realize that that is fueling your relaunches, we can retrain our brain to create so that we can have a strategic pullback, so we can restructure to create more momentum. So what you're going to want to do first is create recurring revenue. So you're going to have to create an offer flow that depending on, so you're going to want to create recurring revenue. Okay. So I specialize in helping coaches, course creators, online service providers build higher ticket offers, programs, and containers that allow them to stack recurring revenue. And we do this very strategically. Make sure that it doesn't suck all the white space out of your calendar. Make sure that it fits your schedule. But it is very possible to scale to multi 6-figure months with this recurring revenue model, where you create scalable one-to-many programs, or a program, an anchor program, I like to call it, and then a more elite one-to-few program. Okay. And then as clients buy into these, you're going to stack your recurring revenue. If they pay in full, they're paying in full for 6 months or 12 months, or it's going to be through payment plans. So you know how much you're going to have coming in every month, or rolling enrollments. So these are going to be people who can come at any time during the year. Second, we're going to create an offer ecosystem, okay? So no more kind of buyer journey where we have a beginner, an intermediate, an advanced, and then someone who wants to work with you. We're not doing that. That's killing your sales because one, in order to do that, you're speaking to 3 or 4 different people in your messaging, but that's for another time. For now, we're going to focus on offers that feed into each other. My favorite way of doing this is having a core or signature offer that has a lot of the meat of the transformation that you offer, okay? A lot of the facets of it. It could be your full transformation offer. Most likely, if this is a full transformation offer, this is going to be a multi 4-figure offer. And sometimes it lives inside of your scalable offer, your anchor offer, meaning you go through it with your members, right? But in order to create an offer ecosystem, you can literally pull out of that offer smaller offers at different price points. So you see how it's still all catering to that one client who wants that one transformation. Third, build sales systems. I will die on this hill. You have to have automated sales systems. And I'm not talking about ManyChat. You have to have scalable sales structures, all different kinds of funnels everywhere, feeding into all your different programs, nurturing all of your leads. So those are the 3 things that you have to do if you want to stop relying on launches. Okay, question number 2. I feel like I've tried everything, but my sales are still inconsistent. What am I missing? So obviously, it's impossible for me to answer this question. Absolutely impossible. I can't tell you what you're missing because I'm not supporting you. So, shameless plug. This is why I say that courses don't create success. Support creates success. Because really, this is a question that all of us ask at the next level we want to get to. Is I feel like I've tried everything, but my sales are inconsistent. What am I missing? No one can tell you that unless they know you, unless they've been working with you for a period of time. Honestly, pet peeve of mine is anyone who says, I can look at your page and tell you in 5 seconds what you're doing wrong. Or I can look at your messaging and tell you in 5 seconds why you're not converting. Because conversions and sales don't happen from one facet of your business. They happen from all of the pieces, all of the facets working together. And to find out where things are broken in your business, you have to dive into every section. Because even if you're making sales, you can be making more if you find where the bottleneck is, or if you find where people are dropping off. If you increase the conversion percentage on your emails, if you increase the conversion percentage on your sales page, if you can increase the conversion percentage from your content feed. So let's talk about a few of the things that could possibly happen if you feel like you've tried everything, but sales are inconsistent. Most likely, this is coming from what I just said. Somewhere people are dropping off. Somewhere things are bottlenecking. Where that is in your business, I don't know unless we're working together. But one place where it usually happens is in positioning. So remember, positioning is not your messaging, it's not your content strategy, and it's not your offers. Positioning is how you're leveraging your brand, your authority, your messaging angles inside of all the different areas of your business. So if dream clients aren't instantly seeing your offers as a solution, you're positioning them wrong. If they are messaging you with tons of objections, tons of questions, or ghosting you, then we have a problem with your messaging positioning. If you're not getting comments to keywords, if they're not DMing you, if you're not getting any leads, then we have a problem with how you're positioning those things inside of your content and probably your content strategy. Confused people don't buy. And if people are confused by your brand positioning, your offer positioning, your messaging positioning, they're not going to buy as much. Another thing that could be happening is your sales are probably reactive instead of proactive. So maybe you're waiting for people to find your offer, or maybe you're only selling if you feel like it. Maybe you're only making sales if you show up. Maybe you're only making sales if you launch. So you need a system, not just effort. So this is where like automations and funnels come in and sales structures. And then another thing is it might not be, and then another thing it could be is that you are attracting the wrong buyers. So if you're constantly hearing, I need to think about it, or I don't have money, then you're speaking to people who aren't ready to invest. So this would be a messaging problem. And so this usually comes from leaning too heavily into desire marketing or leaning too heavily into pain point marketing. There is a sweet spot that is kind of right in the middle, and it's positioning again. It's high value problem positioning in your messaging. So, and this is going to confuse a lot of people. I'm sure like a lot of flags went up like, what? Like desire marketing? I thought that was good. It is good. And we do talk about the results, the transformation. And honestly, we do talk about the pain. But if that's all you're talking about, because the industry likes extremes, right? So they're like, don't use pain point marketing ever, only use desire marketing. Or they're like, don't use desire marketing, only use pain point marketing. And like anything, there's a balance. And I like the balance. And the balance is high value problem positioning. So if all you're talking about is desire marketing, is the goal, the want, then you're going to get all of these people who, of course, they want 10K months. Of course, they want to look amazing by summer. Of course, they want to be happy, healthy, wealthy. Because right now they're not, right? They're not there. So usually those people are operating out of a position of lack. And people who operate out of a position of lack are often ones who expect results. They tend to have more of a victim mentality. Like, I've tried this before, it didn't work for me. They want you to handhold them. They want done with you work, but they don't really want to invest in it because they're afraid, because they've tried before to get the desire and they didn't get it. And then pain point marketing, we don't lean into, because strictly pain point marketing, just poking and agitating that person's pain, is only attracting disempowered people, disempowered buyers. They're not ready to buy. They want to sit in their pain. They want to wallow. And they're also making decisions from a place of lack. They don't have it. It didn't work. They're salty. And basically, pain point marketing is you poking them until they can't take it anymore. And they're like, fine, I'll get it. It better work this time, right? So, problem marketing, essentially, what you're going to do is focus on the symptoms of the problem. Because a lot of people don't know the problem they have. They know the symptoms. So when you find the highest value problem that they want solved, or the symptom of that problem, and then you position how it will feel to have the solution in place, then you're going to be attracting the right buyers. People who are problem aware or symptom aware are looking for a solution actively. So it's really a combination. It's a combination of a pain, a problem or symptom they want fixed, and a combination of a specific, very, very specific desire that they want at the end of resolving that pain, right? So think about it if you were going to go to the doctor. And again, just to recap, because I got kind of long-winded on that one. I feel like I've tried everything, but my sales are inconsistent. What am I missing? And we're talking about attracting the wrong buyers, and we're talking about messaging, okay? So think about it as if you were going to the doctor, right? Usually you're going to go to the doctor because you don't know what your problem is, but you feel a pain somewhere on your body, right? And usually you feel a pain when you're doing a specific thing, right? Like maybe you feel pain in your tummy when you eat gluten. Or maybe you feel pain in your heart when you eat something spicy. So you might have an idea of what you think that is, but you're not really 100% sure. But you want it fixed. You don't want to feel that anymore, right? So that's the high value problem. Those are the symptoms of the high value problem that that person wants solved. So think, what are the symptoms of the highest value problem that my client wants solved? So we would focus on that. Does your tummy hurt after you eat pasta? This is why. It's because you have IBS or you're gluten intolerant. All right. And then what's the desire, the micro-specific desire that they want to feel after getting diagnosed? They don't want to feel that pain anymore, right? Not only do they not want to feel that pain anymore, what do they want to feel like after the solution? That's the desire, specific desire. I don't want to feel pain anymore is not the desire, specific desire, right? That removes all of the friction. That removes all of the objections. That removes attracting the wrong buyers. Okay, question number 3. That was a long one. How do I scale without losing my freedom? So this is probably the second biggest fear that people have. The first biggest fear is fear of inconsistent months, right? The second, usually subconscious fear that people have is losing their freedom when they scale. And you've kind of been fed this like, masterminds are going to sap all your time. Oh, they're going to need so much from you. So there's a little bit of a backstory with this. You have to make sure that you're attracting the right clients. Because if you're not, yes, it's going to feel very heavy. They're going to take a lot of time. And it is. You will. You'll lose your freedom. And it won't be worth it. Like you will be asking to give people a refund faster than you were happy to accept the sale. So the fear is that to hit higher cash months, even 6 or multi-6-figure months, that you're going to have to do more work. You're going to have more clients. You're going to have to be on Zoom more. And honestly, that is how a lot of people build their businesses. But that's not the only way. So this really is called what entrepreneurs get trapped in, high effort, low leverage offers. So you have to put forth more effort and nothing's really working for you. So to scale without losing your freedom means we can't trade our time for money on a regular basis. So that comes down to your offer structure. You have to structure your offers so that you can take on more clients and still get amazing results for them without adding more hours to your week. And then if you want to add one-on-ones for very elite clients, unicorn clients, whatever you want to call them, then you'd actually be using your one-on-ones as cash injections. So that's the first thing we need to do. Next, we have to streamline your delivery process. So I think I've said this 10 times in here already. You have to have sales systems and structures in place that free up your time. So when we're delivering those offers, obviously all of them have to be automated so they're not relying on you. And then we want to automate and optimize the entire sales process. So not manually selling everything, but setting up sales structures inside of your offer flow with funnels from offers to the next, upselling, order bumps, downsells, to help you add more passive sales onto your scalable high ticket offers. And that is all the questions we are going to answer for today. Thank you so much for being here. That's it for today's episode of Beyond the Hustle. If you are done with the income roller coaster and ready for a business that actually supports your life, hit subscribe and leave me a review so you don't miss what's next. Want to go deeper? Check the show notes for ways we can do that. And if today's episode hit home, send me a DM or share it on your Instagram stories and tag me. I'd love to hear what stood out to you. Until next time, friend, keep scaling, keep selling, and keep living life beyond the hustle.